Would you like an animal that produces 6 times more meat than a cow in the same amount of space and time? A single female rabbit can give you over 40 offspring a year, which translates to nearly 200 pounds of meat produced in just 100 square feet. This is the fastest return on investment in the modern homesteading world today. High reproduction rates, accelerated growth, and an initial investment that you can recover in less than 4 months. If you are looking for rapid profit, food independence, and a system that works for you using the resources already on your land, you have come to the right place. Let's begin. To understand why rabbit farming, or cuniculture, is the hidden gold mine of small-scale livestock in regions like the United States, Canada, and Australia, we must look at the numbers with a cold, business-oriented mindset. While cattle require vast acreage and years of waiting for a return, rabbits offer a production cycle that resembles a high-efficiency assembly line. The secret to financial success in the English-speaking market isn't necessarily having thousands of animals, but rather maximizing inventory turnover. In other words, how many times you can sell meat in a single year. With rabbits, the cycle is so fast that you can be bringing fryers to market every 2 weeks if you organize your batches correctly. This cash flow speed is what truly sustains a producer during economic shifts, allowing you to reinvest profits immediately to expand your farm without the need for suffocating bank loans. States like Missouri and Texas have seen a massive resurgence in this practice, with homesteading communities proving that small-scale efficiency is unbeatable. But for this engine to run without stopping, we must base our production on animals with genetics designed for efficiency, because in the meat business, time is literally money. The foundation of any profitable rabbitry in the US or the UK must be the New Zealand White, the breed that dominates the commercial market due to its perfect balance between hardiness and precocity. This animal is a growth athlete. A mature buck or doe reaches between 9 and 12 pounds, but their true value lies in the kits. Under efficient management, a New Zealand kit can reach its market weight, which is usually around 5 pounds in just 70 to 80 days. This is a brutal competitive advantage when you consider the cost of daily maintenance. Their sexual maturity arrives early, at about 4.5 months for does and 5 months for bucks, allowing you to have a new generation producing before the first half of the year is even over. Additionally, their white fur makes for a cleaner-looking carcass during processing, something that high-end consumers and local butchers in places like Oregon or Vermont value immensely. The maternal instinct of this breed is legendary. They have well-developed milk production and a nurturing nature that ensures a very low mortality rate in the nest box, which translates directly into more sellable pounds. To complement these genetics and achieve what we call hybrid vigor, the best ally is the Californian rabbit. This breed is easily identifiable by its dark extremities and its compact, muscular white body, specifically designed to put on meat in the highest value commercial areas. The Californian is slightly smaller in total weight than the New Zealand, usually ranging from 8 to 10.5 pounds in adults, but it has a much higher dressing percentage. This means that during processing, you get more net meat and less waste in bone or offal, which increases your profit margin for every animal sold. Their meat is firm in texture, and their ability to withstand the varying temperatures of the American Midwest or the Australian outback is impressive thanks to their efficient thermal regulation. By crossing a Californian buck with New Zealand does, you get offspring that not only grow faster, but also have a superior resistance to respiratory issues, which are often the biggest headache for the novice breeder who is still fine-tuning their barn ventilation. If your focus is on a more rustic or semi-intensive system, where you want to depend less on expensive commercial pellets and more on what your land produces, the American Blue or the Silver Fox are excellent heritage options. These breeds are known for being some of the best converters of rough forage into high-quality protein. While their sexual maturity is a bit slower, reaching at around 6 months, and their adult weight can easily exceed 10 pounds, their physical strength is unmatched against parasites and sudden climate changes. These heritage breeds are the ones that can handle outdoor management in cooler climates like the northern US or Canada, and best utilize the medicinal plants and shrubs we often discuss. In countries like the UK, where pasture-based farming is a growing trend, these breeds have shown they can thrive where more delicate industrial breeds might fail, becoming the pillar of family food security. Their ability to digest high-quality fiber makes them the perfect animal for the producer looking to reduce operating costs to an absolute minimum without sacrificing the final size of the product. Speaking of costs, the biggest mistake a breeder can make in the Western market is believing that rabbits can only eat store-bought pellets that go up in price every month. We have proven that integrating fodder systems and medicinal plants is not just a green alternative, it is a financial necessity to make real profit. The rabbit is a highly specialized herbivore that needs fiber to keep its complex digestive system from collapsing. By providing plants like alfalfa, clover, or even implementing hydroponic fodder systems, you are giving them a diet that can have up to 20% crude protein almost for free. This not only naturally accelerates the muscle growth of the kits, but also strengthens their immune system from the moment they are in the nest box. In agricultural regions of Australia and the US, the use of these silvopastoral systems applied to cuniculture has allowed small producers to compete with large operations, offering a pasture-raised or organic meat that has a growing market niche willing to pay a premium price for health and sustainability. The use of natural medicine through these plants reduces spending on chemical drugs and dewormers, which cleans up your cost structure. The savings in feed, which usually represents 70% of a farm's expenses, is direct money that stays in your pocket. But the business doesn't end with the food. Reproduction management is where you define whether your farm is a serious business or just a hobby. A doe is pregnant for exactly 31 days, and her ability to get pregnant again shortly after kindling is her greatest economic superpower. In a fast production system, we apply the semi-intensive rhythm. The doe is taken to the buck 15 days after she has given birth. This allows for a constant rotation where, while the mother is nursing a litter that is already starting to explore solid forage, she is already gestating the next generation in her womb. This pace requires the mother to be in optimal physical condition, something you only achieve with the balanced nutrition of the medicinal forages we mentioned. For this cycle to be successful and not turn into a sanitary tragedy, hygiene and cage design are the technical foundation. You don't need expensive stainless steel installations, but you do need a functional design that respects the biology of the animal. In many of our temperate climates, ventilation is the #1 survival factor. A rabbit stressed by ammonia or stagnant air stops eating, and a rabbit that doesn't eat is a loss of money by the hour. Using wire mesh floors that allow manure and urine to fall away from the animal's feet is vital to avoid coccidiosis, the parasitic disease that steals the most capital from rabbitries globally. This waste management leads us to the second product of the farm, rabbit manure, often called black gold. Unlike poultry or pig manure, rabbit manure is so balanced that it can be applied almost immediately to your gardens and fodder crops. This closes a perfect and regenerative production circle. Your plants feed your rabbits produce meat for sale and manure for fertilizer, ensuring that your initial investment continues to multiply month after month. Having the right animals and the proper forage crops growing on your land is only half the journey toward financial success. The other half is defined by your ability to transform those pounds of meat into consistent, strategic, and professional cash flow. Many breeders in the United States and the United Kingdom make the mistake of producing with enthusiasm but without a clear exit plan, and they end up with cages full of animals but empty pockets because they didn't know how to sell the value of what they have. To prevent this from happening to you, we must understand that rabbit meat in the Western market is not a generic commodity. It is a high-value protein that must be positioned under the concepts of health, animal welfare, and gourmet exclusivity. Do not try to compete on price against mass-produced industrial chicken injected with hormones. Your competition is artisanal quality. You must focus on the customer looking for a lean diet, free of cholesterol and rich in easily digestible proteins. In states like California, New York, and across the UK, the market for rabbit meat has seen a massive resurgence because savvy producers have started reaching out to farm-to-table chefs in organic grocery stores. A chef values consistency and freshness above all else. If you guarantee that every week they will have 5 or 10 fryers at an exact weight of 5 pounds, with clean white fat and impeccable texture, you have secured a weekly paycheck for your farm. Presentation is your calling card. A well-processed, hair-free, properly chilled carcass, vacuum-sealed if possible with a label highlighting that it is a pasture-raised or soy-free product, doubles the perceived value of your work. Furthermore, think about diversification. You aren't just selling meat. Rabbit liver is a delicacy sought after for making pâtés, and even the heads and feet, which some consider waste, have a high demand in the raw pet food market, ensuring you profit from 100% of the animal. To reach that market with a product that is truly impeccable, the health and welfare of your rabbitry must be a daily obsession that leaves nothing to chance, and this is where the natural medicine we advocate for becomes your financial shield against losses. In varying climates, moisture and temperature fluctuations can trigger disease outbreaks that ruin a barn in days if you don't act with prevention. The intelligent breeder doesn't spend money on emergency chemical medicines. They invest in biological prevention through diet. For example, using crushed pumpkin seeds mixed with forage acts as a natural internal dewormer that keeps the kit's intestines clean without the need for expensive drugs. Garlic is a great ally. It can be crushed into the drinking water once a week to strengthen the immune system and prevent chronic respiratory issues like Pasteurella. A rabbit that breathes well and digests better is a rabbit that converts every ounce of food into muscle without stopping. During the weaning stage, which is the time of highest risk due to stress, using infusions of oregano and thyme acts as a natural broad-spectrum antibiotic, protecting the kit's intestinal flora while they make the transition to solid forage. This technique, widely used in successful small-scale farms in Oregon and Vermont, reduces mortality to levels below 5%, something that seems impossible for those who depend solely on commercial chemicals. Remember the golden rule: a dry environment, constant ventilation, and fresh water. If you keep the cages elevated and allow air to circulate, you will be preventing the heat stress that stops your animal's growth and affects the fertility of your bucks. As your venture grows and you move from 10 cages to 100, you will realize that administration and order are what sustain the weight of long-term profitability. You cannot manage a high-performance farm by relying only on your memory. You need records that speak for you. Keeping an individual technical sheet for each doe and buck is what separates a backyard hobbyist from a rural entrepreneur. In these records, you must note every detail: the date of the breeding, the buck used, the number of kits born alive, and how many survived until weaning. This data, the number of kits weaned per doe per year, is the true indicator of your wealth. If a doe gives you large litters but is careless and her offspring die, she is wasting your feed and your time. She must be culled and replaced by the daughter of your best milker. This process of internal genetic selection is what will allow you to create your own bloodline, perfectly adapted to your microclimate and your specific forages. In the US and Australia, the success of long-lasting projects has been this rigorous selection. But the business doesn't stop at meat. We cannot ignore the potential of byproducts. Rabbit pelts, if you learn basic tanning techniques, have a constant demand in the fashion and craft industry. This allows you to charge for the pelt what it sometimes costs to produce half the animal. And of course, there is the manure, the famous black gold. A visionary breeder doesn't see manure as waste, but as a second source of income or as the engine of their own fodder garden. Rabbit manure is so rich in nutrients that you can sell it by the bag to local gardeners, or use it to produce high-quality worm castings, closing a cycle where no waste exists. I know that at first the path may seem full of technical details, but remember that every great livestock empire began with a single step and an unshakable desire to prosper independently. You have the competitive advantage of living in a time where information is at your fingertips and the market is craving what you can produce. Use these plants, use the genetics we've discussed, and above all, use your will to build the production system your family needs. Don't let the fear of starting small stop you. Early mistakes are the cheapest lessons you will receive in this business. Organize your batches, take care of your nesting boxes as if they were the heart of your home, and always maintain that curiosity to learn new ways to be more efficient every day. The modern market is thirsty for responsible producers who offer quality, consistency, and honesty. You have the potential to be that benchmark producer in your area, the one who proves that farming isn't just about sacrifice, but a dignified and very profitable source of wealth. If you found this guide helpful and want to continue mastering the art of profitable farming, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a lesson. Your support helps us keep bringing this specialized knowledge to breeders around the world. Trust the process, trust the amazing biology of the rabbit, and trust your ability to lead this productive change. It is time to make the decision, to stop planning and start executing, turning every challenge into an opportunity to strengthen your farm and secure your future. The path is laid out, the tools are in your hands, and the market is waiting for you. To your success, fellow breeder, until next time.